Hey guys, so we're back on the body of the car after we finished with the doors and with the valances on the bench. That was fun to work on the bench, but now we're gonna have to come back on the car and finish what we still have to finish on the body, and that's not much. We have Keith mentioned to me that this area here was not looking very good to him. That's how he bought the car, but there's some bonded cracks here, so there's some plastic here and it's different color. Now I can't really tell, but it is different color, and so maybe there's something in this area. And also here there are a couple of dents that we need to pull out. Here I think I have access from inside, so I can hammer them out, or in the worst case scenario I can use the stinger and we can pull them out. So that's one area that needs to be finished. Also on the hood underneath, or on the bonnet underneath, under the leading edge, there's some rust, but I'll show it to you when I take it out. And to be able to do that area, I'm thinking I'm gonna pull the body out and put it on a cart to be higher for me, so it's easier to work. And also, if you remember, when I had the body off and it was on its side, I finished this wheel well here. I cleaned it and painted it, but I didn't do the other one. So now when I put it on a cart, I will be able to finish that inner wheel well as well, and that's gonna be it for the body. So that's the plan. Hopefully in the next couple of days I can finish these areas and the bonnet, and then the plan is to install the body on the frame, bolt it down where it's supposed to be, install the bonnet properly with the bolts and hinges and everything that is just to secure it there, install the doors, install the valances, install everything, so I can fit everything and make sure all the gaps are good, and then I can take it out of the frame again and take the doors out and take bonnets and everything out and start doing the body work. Like I will have to strip the paint, I'm gonna have to prime it, and then I'm gonna have to do the body work, all the body filler that I kept saying there's gonna be a little bit body filler here, body filler there. Now the time for that comes, and then I'm gonna be busy with that for a long time. But anyways, that's too far away in the future. Let's do what we just said we're gonna do, and we're gonna go from there. So now we have access here. We can clean this up and paint it, and that's going to be for the bottom. But first I'm going to start with the valence, valence, whatever, because I'm curious to see what's the situation there. Oh, it's going to be a shame, but I'm going to have to remove this. Even though it is all torn, it looks really vintage to me. I really like this, but unfortunately we're going to have to get rid of it. Now I'm going to strip this and we will see what's underneath. Alright, I moved it on the other side because the dust is going to fly this way. So I don't want to get your keyboard dusty. That's a dent only. Why didn't they straighten it? They put a ton of bondo instead of straightening it. There is access from the side, so they could have just hammered it out. Alright, so this area is all cleaned up. I wanted to clean up this as well. I might try to, but here I couldn't go everywhere with the quick strip disc. I wasted already 2 of these and I couldn't go everywhere, so I had to use a wire wheel, but the wire wheel, look what's left of it, and that's my last one, so I'm gonna go pick up some more tonight, but for now I can't use any more. But for this area now, looks like from the center to the right everything is fine, but from the center to the left there's been some repair here. There's something inside, that's why they couldn't hammer it out, I guess, but we'll try to hammer it out. And I wanted to show you something, but I have to move you. Right, so I don't know how well you're gonna see this, but I'm hoping, because there's light from underneath, so I'm hoping you're gonna be able to see it. So the whole valence, or this whole panel, I don't know what is it called, but this whole panel is a little bit on a bow, because you see from the center to the right, it's always touching only one point, or maybe here it becomes straight, but here it is bowed. But if you come here, not only that it's not bowed this way, but it's bowed the other way, and here we have a gap of maybe 1/4 inch that was filled up with bondo, and a little bit here maybe. Yeah. So we're gonna try to hammer this out. If it doesn't work, then we're gonna weld some studs and we're gonna use the slide hammer, but I want to make this panel as straight as possible and use as less as possible bondo. Before it was too low, now it's too high, but I can climb up. And right here there is a bracket or something inside, that's why they didn't hammer it out. I think that came out very well. I think that's it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. Now, of course, there's gonna be body work here, there's gonna be some body filler, but it's gonna be much less than what they've used here, like 1/4 inch, and it cracked. Okay. Alright, this one needs some hammering here. A little dent here, a dent here, a dent here, and that's it. Okay, so let's start from the left to the right. So we'll start from this one. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's our next, what we're gonna do for tonight. So I'm gonna take out the bump stop, this nut and everything, And I'm gonna clean this area, and probably I'm gonna paint it with the rust guard, and I'm gonna leave the bed liner for tomorrow. Yeah, so without further ado, as they say, let's get to it. Alright, looks clean to me. There's a little bit more of the red paint, but it doesn't come off very easy, so I'm just gonna cover it. So I'm gonna paint it with the rust converter. No, so it doesn't need rust converter actually, because there's no rust here at all. It was all paint, it was all red paint, so it doesn't need rust converter. So I'm gonna paint it with the rust guard, and we're gonna call it a night, I guess. Alright, I think we are done for today, and tomorrow we're gonna come back with the bed liner. Now, because every time I use this paint, somebody's asking me what kind of paint is that. This is Folgers flavor, hazelnut flavor coffee. Oh, sorry, that's not the original container. Yeah, it's this paint is called Rust Guard, and it comes from Wurth, W-U-R-T-H, and it is applied directly on surfaces that we want to protect from rust, and doesn't require primer, and it works very well for us. Well, I'm not paid by Wurth as well, so that's not an advertisement, but I'm just saying it because there's always a guy who asks what kind of paint is that. So that's it. Rust Guard from Wurth. Alright guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Alright guys, I don't know what day it is where you are, but here it is tomorrow already. So if you want to hear the tomorrow's news, ask me and I'll tell you. So this now is dry, and I'm gonna spray the bed liner. I'm gonna spray a couple of coats, maybe 2-3 coats, and that's gonna be it for the wheel well. Alright, that's one coat, and we'll come back later for a second and third maybe. And that's it. In the meantime though, we're gonna jump into some repairs here on the bulkhead. Like here, for example, you see where this was ripped, and I'm not really sure what holes must be there. I can see two holes, like one here and one here, but this is cracked, so we have to replace a piece of the metal here, and the same on this side. It's cracked in the exact same place, and here it even shifted. I don't know if you see it, but this hole, half of it is 1/4 inch in that direction, so we have to straighten that and weld it, or just replace a piece, we'll see. And that's it. Otherwise the bulkhead is nice and solid, and of course at some point the battery tray, which I haven't ordered yet but yeah, we'll have to order it. Alright, so we'll start with this side, and you see how it was somehow this bottom end was pushed that way, so I have to push it back out and align this hole. coming out. Alright, I'm just gonna tuck it here so it doesn't move on me anymore, and then I'm gonna straighten this in the corner. Alright, now I can hammer the rest. Alright, one side is done, nice and solid. Let's do the other side. Alright, I think we are done here with both sides, so we can do something else. Alright, I don't know if you see very well, but there's a dent here and a dent here, so let's pull this. So now that this got pushed in, not only it got pushed in here, but this also pushed the metal up right here. So the idea now is that we have to pull this out, but in the meantime, while pulling it out, we have to hammer this down a little bit. We have to just tap it with the hammer. And for that I need a T-handle, something that grabs the stud, and I can pull on it while hammering on the other side with and a little hammer, but unfortunately I don't have a T-handle, so I'm gonna have to improvise here, maybe with a pair of vice grips or something like that. But I'm not gonna use the slide hammer here. Maybe I'm gonna use the slide hammer for here, but for here I'm gonna have to improvise. Now the problem is that the whole car is moving. I have to hold it with my foot. You see, it's working. So a little bit more at the top. And over here. And that's it. But I think I'm gonna have to get rid of all these, because now they are tricking my hand. I'm still not very good in feeling the low and the high spots. I can feel them, but I can't tell where they are. So even these, they have a little bit of a, you see, a ridge here, and this ridge is tricking me. So I think I'm gonna strip the whole thing here first. This stripping wheel has a little bit more life in it, so I'm gonna use it as much as possible because they are expensive. They're not that expensive, but the problem is they get worn very fast, so the ratio price to use is really low. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that's better. Oh, nice and warm. Okay, so now we can pull those two dents here. There are just two high spots now where the studs were, so I'm gonna put a dolly inside. I can reach inside the B-post and hammer them down. Alright, these look great, I think. There's just this low spot here that needs to be filled up with body filler, but the rest is perfect. And here too. So, next, please. Next, we're gonna have to weld a little hole right there, which I noticed yesterday when I was doing the headlights. When I was doing this valance, I noticed that there's a little bit of a hole here. And actually this might be a little bit of my fault, because this is where I was clamping my ground for the welder. This is how I was clamping my clamp for my welder for a long time, and maybe this is why it burned through. But anyways, now I'm gonna weld it, and I think that's gonna be all the welding for the body. Yeah, that's a solid metal. That's solid metal, but probably my clamp was arcing all the time, and that's why it got burned through. Alright, I'm gonna do a little bit of a walk around to make sure there's nothing else to be welded, and I just remember now. I have this trim for the other side, which is not in yet. Yeah, we have to do that as well. Okay, we're gonna have to do that, but we have to do also some other forgotten things that I discovered, so that's gonna have to happen in another video, because this one became too long already. So thanks for watching, guys, thanks for subscribing, and thanks for commenting, and stay tuned for the next video, in which we're gonna keep welding, even though I thought we were gonna be done in this one.